What's up, guys? It's Jim with OPTCG, bringing you guys another One Piece card game video today. And today we're going to be doing a video that we have really not done in a while, and that is a market watch video. So now that OP07 has officially dropped in the West, everyone, even if you don't have a brick and mortar store, can post and sell their cards on TCG Player. So when that happens, prices tend to drop after the insane pre-sale prices before official release and kind of level out to what they're going to end up at later down the line, maybe like a couple months from now. So I think now is the time to actually look at these cards and see what they're actually going to cost us, because looking at them before during pre-sale really doesn't serve any purpose other than, give us speculation on what they could be when the set officially actually drops. But spoilers for this set, actually not too bad, truly. The prices are not terrible. Even the box itself, you can see right here on the right, let me just move the screen over here, is going to be $144 for one box, which honestly is a little bit much. I'm not gonna lie. Like $144 for a box is obviously not to market price. Like if we are in a good standing, like this thing would be going for like $120. But truly that's rare nowadays, especially online. So unfortunately, cannot really expect that to be the case ever nowadays, unless they massively print this set or any set in the future. I don't really think we're going to be able to buy the boxes online unless they're pre-orders for a decent price. But box going for a decent price, and honestly a lot of these cards going for a decent price. So first up, I want to look at the obvious and number one chase card for the set is going to be Boa Hancock. Right here we have her pulled up. What I expected to be one of the most expensive mangas, I would say, if I were to guess, only paralleled by the Gear Fit Luffy. Question is, was I right? Let's see. So Boa is $1,000 right now for the lowest sale. Still going down, as you can see by this chart here. It has only gone down since release. Originally selling for the highest right here at $2,400 pre-sale. Sorry to the sad sap who bought this. And the last sale is going to be the 28th, which was yesterday, at $1,124. And then as you can see, we actually have stores with 50,000 plus sales selling for only $1,000. So this is dropping as we speak. But how does it compare to other mangas? Is it the second most expensive manga? Answer is yes, it is. Even though this is still dropping, I don't think it'll drop much more. I think people are really going to want this manga. Boa Hancock is a very, very fan favorite character. Even beating out Trafalgar Law here, which is rarer than Boa, no doubts. I've seen tons of people pull Boa, but just mathematically, in OP05, it was you get a manga box, same as any other manga box, but now you have to do the 1 in 3 dice roll. Is it Luffy, Law, or Captain Kidd? So I'm almost positive Law is like 1/3, as rare as Boa Hancock. And then followed by Zoro, Kid, Chopper, and then the two kind of duds of mangas going to be Sabo and Sogeking. So yeah, Boa actually is sitting at the second most expensive manga right now. Could go down a bit, but honestly don't think it's going to. And honestly, cool to see. So there is a lot of collectability in the 500 Years into the Future set. If you are trying to hit the manga card, it is a great manga card to hit, whether you are a collector or you are just trying to, make a little bit of cash. This is definitely the card you want to see. But skipping over mangas here, we're going to get into our most expensive card right here is going to be Onami. So if we're not including the manga, which, 1 in 500 people aren't really going to ever pull, the most expensive card that, a lot more people are going to pull is going to be the Onami SP. Right here, sitting at $134.98 for our lowest listing. And this card right here, as you can see, is selling a lot. So today's the 29th of June, And this card has already sold almost 10 times. And still going down. As you can see, these are 147, 143, 142. And now we are listing decent stores right here. These ones are a little bit less known. So if we're getting to our first like really decent store right here, we have 1,000 sales. It's going to be 134. So really solid, honestly. And I'm not surprised. This art might be the best art in the entire game. Fantastic card as well that you're running in decks like Katakuri, pretty much any yellow deck for the most part. Yamato as well, obviously. This is a great hit and a really good price for a non-manga card for sure. Next up here, though, let's get into our leaders. So if I were to tell you what I thought was going to be the most expensive leader, OP07, going into the pre-sales, it was going to be Rob Luchi, what I would guess, but it actually turns out to be Jewelry Bonnie. So I think most people are very intrigued and interested to play Bonnie. And that is also backed by the fact that we did a poll to decide our first leader we want to play with the most popular OP07 leaders for locals, that is. Bonnie won that pretty much by landslide. So at least from what I can tell from that, I think most people are interested in playing Bonnie, which is why Bonnie is the undisputed most expensive leader right now. Undisputed is a little bit of a strong word, especially considering Boa's lowest listing is actually higher than Bonnie's lowest listing. Market price is a bit under Bonnie's market price of 99, but when you see a super low listing like this with a higher market price, that means it is going down like pretty rapidly as we speak. Boa, not so much. Boa's lowest listing is still at 95 with a 97.88 market price. So Boa's probably going to sit around here around 90. Bonnie maybe going to go down a bit. So Boa could be our undisputed best leader pool if we're pulling a leader from the set, which, I mean, I wouldn't have guessed, but I'm not surprised by, right? Again, the Boa Hancock effect, the waifu tax, it's always going to drive up the price, right? Onami is our most expensive SP. Obviously, the art is amazing, but the fact the card is Nami obviously helps. Boa Hancock, in the community at least, might be more popular than Nami. That might be a crazy thing to say, but if we had the Nami leader, at least, that had an alt art, was never this much and never contending for the first spot. So take it with what you will. This Boa Hancock art is also fantastic. But yeah, in third place, surprisingly to me, because I think Rob Luchi is the best out of these three leaders and probably the best new leader in OP07, is going to be sitting here at $83.89 market price, which is about $10 less than both Bonnie and Boa. So yeah, if you want to get Luchi and you're a Luchi player, this is great for us, right? In prior sets, if you wanted to buy one of the new meta leaders, they were usually like low 100s, like 120, 130, sometimes even like 140. So Luchi players, we are eating good. 84 minimum for this leader is really solid. So if you want to max rarity your deck as a Luchi player, obviously, the character cards themselves are a different story, but as far as leader goes, it's actually a pretty decent price and a dropping as we speak. So really solid there. Next up here, we have two pretty decently priced SPs in Eustace Captain Kidd and Don Quixote del Flamingo. No surprise here. These are both very playable cards. One in Law, the other in either Boa or Dofi, who is getting big buffs. Dofi, if you can't see it here because it is cut off, I apologize. They changed the layout of TCG Player site, which honestly I don't know if I like. Sorry, but Dofi is going to be about 70 bucks, so about 500 Kid. Not too bad. And the next up here, I want to talk about our Treasure Rare. So Law is going to be the Treasure Rare for this set. Treasure Rare, if you don't know, it is basically the English metas or English releases replacement for the God packs that are in the East. Honestly, I would rather have God packs. The only thing with that, God packs, if you guys don't know, are over in the East. They can actually open packs where they have all 6 alt art leaders from the new set, which is obviously incredible. But they only actually have 6 cards per pack. So that actually works perfectly. We over here in the West have 12 cards per pack. So that wouldn't really work. Like, they'd have to do like 6 leaders and like 6 Dong cards or something weird like that. So Instead of that, they're giving us our own special arts, which I think is cool in itself, right? Like the East doesn't get this, so we get our own awesome art. And this Trafalgar Law is going for a pretty decent price, despite the fact that it's probably pretty rare. 60 bucks, also a playable card in Law. So for a treasure rare, this is a great price, especially for a card that's uber playable. And this is an alt art for a card that has never had an alt art. So you can finally get a rarity on the 4-drop blocker Law. So purple players, RP Law players, you guys are winning. Obviously, not a cheap price by any means, but pretty cheap considering everything involved. And then on the left here, we have our Portgas the Ace alt art is going to be our most expensive normal alt art. So not a leader, not an SP, not a manga. If you're pulling just a standard alt art, this is your biggest hit. So this is the card you want to pull, no doubt. And it is out of these, the least rare card that you can pull for the most money. So 10-drop Portgas the Ace, awesome card. Obviously, only really playable, as far as meta decks go at least, in Enel. Which I think is going to be really popular. I think people in the West really like Enel. And people really like Ace. So I think that's why this card is so much. It is actually, this card is just as rare as any other normal alt art. Even though it is a secret rare. The alt art slot, doesn't care whether it's a secret rare or like an SR or rare. It's just an alt art slot. So this has the same rarity as any other normal alt art, but way over the next most, which is going to be the 5-cost Luffy at $48 here. Even though this is the literal face of the set, it is a whopping $20 less than Ace. So pretty insane there. But I think, viable for an awesome card and awesome art. Really do think the art is great on this guy. And now getting into our most expensive secret rare, same again, we have 10-cost Ace. So literally one half, a little bit less than one half of the alt art. This is a lot for a secret rare. Obviously, people know Katakuri from OP03 drives like a $60 price range. It is absolutely insane. The Ace now going for 30 on release, which is pretty crazy, considering this is only played again in one deck, being a Nell, which is not even going to be the most popular deck. Like, it's going to be popular, don't get me wrong, but it is not going to be the most popular deck. So I'm genuinely surprised this card is $30. I'd say this is the only card in the set where I'm like, wow, this is a bit overpriced for its rarity. Like, this is just a secret rare, guys. Like, damn, we're really charging $31 minimum for a secret rare? Do people want to play Enel this bad? Like, I'm surprised. I guess there's a lot of Enel players that really need this card. Because, yeah, even if we go to the second page here and we look at our next secret rare, being the Sabo is half the price. This is like a normal good secret rare price, which is $15. This is played in Luchi. This is played in other black decks, Perona, whatever else. And it's only going for half the price. So I'm very surprised considering this is played in a better deck. It's played in more decks. Obviously, a little bit less of a fan favorite character, which can make a little bit of a dollar change. But $15 more, double the price, is pretty nuts. So as far as Ace goes, guys, I don't want to advise anything. I'm no market expert. If you need to play a no now, yeah, get your aces, do what you got to do. But I really do hope the price goes down, honestly, because that is pretty incredible, actually, how expensive that is. And last thing I want to talk about here is actually going to be our Monkey D. Luffy right here. The reason I want to talk about this card is because this is our most expensive SR for the set. So if you look at the other SRs right below, we have next up Sanji, which is a 4-of staple in RP Law, which is pretty much inarguably the top deck this set. Boa at 350, which is a waifu card. Also a 4-of staple in another one of the decent decks this set, which is going to be the new Boa. And even a lot of Dofi decks. Jinbei, Hawkins, Bonnie. Even for Bonnie being apparently the most wanted leader for this set, her SRs that are like pretty much staples in the deck are going for very cheap. Compared to this Luffy going for $840. And honestly, I'm not sure why. Like, this is a playable card in a lot of yellow decks, namely Enel again. But like For a normal SR, like this is driving you more than the normal Foxy alt art. Like, come on, guys, Foxy's my goat. We shouldn't be charging more for a normal SR. What's going on? The only reason I could really see this being this much is because of just collectability, I guess. Like the art's cute. You know, it's a good card in, I guess, black yellow Luffy as well. I did not mention that. A new 4 of staple in that deck, as well as an L, but I don't think there's a whole ton of black yellow Luffy players. Clearly I could be wrong, but yeah, very strange that this is driving the price that it does for just an SR. As you know, especially when other SRs with, I think, a lot more merit, you know, 4 of Sanji in the best deck in the meta, waifu card in another good deck are going for like almost half of what it's going. So little strange there. If you're planning on playing black yellow Luffy, unfortunately this is the price you're gonna have to pay. But, you know, not the end of the world. $8 is a lot for an SR, but it's not, you know, $1 million. So, with that being said, guys, that is going to be the video, and that is going to be my market review for OP07 on release. I think overall, I would give it like an 8 out of 10. I think the prices are pretty decent as far as alt arts go. As far as the leader alt arts go, really nice. The manga is a great price if you're trying to collect. Also a great price if you're trying to pull it because it's going for the second most, but it's not a ridiculous price like your purple Gear Fit Luffy from OP05. So a lot of great things about this set, guys. I think it really is worth at least getting one box and opening, just because, you know, not to condone gambling, but it's really fun to open boxes, guys. I am guilty myself. But anyways, that is going to be the video. This has been Jim with Awakened TCG. You guys have a great day. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. But I'm going to head out of here. Peace.